After a slow start to the tournament, world number 1, Murray has got better in the last couple of rounds, and he looks to be playing himself into some form heading into the latter stages at Roland Garros. Given his struggles before the tournament, he came into Roland Garros on a 2-match losing streak. Murray was a candidate for the early upset in Paris, and he did little to dispel that belief when he labored to 4-set victories against Andrei Kuznetsov and Martin Klizin in the opening 2 rounds. He was lucky not to be dragged into a 5th against Klizin, who faltered while serving to level the match at 2 sets all. Murray's clay court form was a microcosm of his overall level of play since the start of the year, as he struggled to get anywhere near the sort of form that propelled him to number 1 at the back end of last season. The 30-year-old was 12-3 on hard courts, but most of those wins were in a title-winning run in Dubai and a runner-up finish in Doha. He struggled on the more exalted stages, falling in the 4th round of the Australian Open, losing to Vasek Pospisil in the opening round at Indian Wells and skipping the Miami Open because of an elbow injury. He didn't fare much better on clay before Roland Garros, with a 4-4 record heading into the French Open. However, Murray has added 4 more wins in Paris, and on the evidence of the last 2 matches, there will be more to come in the French capital. After squeezing past Kuznetsov and Klizin, Murray bumped into the imposing Juan Martín del Potro in the 3rd round, bearing a genuine danger of exiting the tournament. At times, he was under the cosh from the mighty forehands of the Argentine, but he relied on his famous retrieval skills and outstanding mental fortitude to dig out a set he had no business winning. That took the sting out of del Potro's challenge, and Murray, despite surrendering an early break in the 2nd set, controlled the match from there. He raced through the final set without dropping a game. Having survived the Del Potro barrage, the Scot came up against another big hitter, Karen Khachanov, in the 4th round. Khachanov is still largely raw, but he had already taken out Tomas Berdych and John Isner in his way to 4th round, and if allowed to express himself, is a very dangerous customer. Murray, though, used all his skill and experience to tame the Russian, clinically dismissing the next-gen star in 4 sets. "I think today was probably the best I have played overall," Murray said after beating Khachanov. "It was difficult conditions. It was pretty windy out there. Each match I feel like I played better. I have hit the ball cleaner and started to see the right shots at the right moments. I've come a long way the last 10 days or so. I said after the last match that what's important is what you're thinking right before the following point. Just now I'm quite clear with what I am doing." When Murray is thinking clearly and executing, he is very hard to outmaneuver. That is the task before Kei Nishikori on Wednesday. While Murray has gotten better in the last 2 rounds, Nishikori has stuttered through the last 2 rounds, needing 5 sets to take down Korean Hyeon Chung, and recovering from a being fed a first set bagel to outlast Fernando Verdasco in 4 sets. Nishikori came into Roland Garros with some uncertainty surrounding his fitness. He had been hampered by a wrist injury through the clay court season, and the Japanese has appeared troubled physically at times in Paris, but the world number 9 has generally played down any injury concerns. Nishikori started his clay court season in February when he played the South American swing, reaching the final in Buenos Aires and falling in the opening round in Rio, but his start to the European clay season was delayed by his wrist problem. He skipped his customary appearance in Barcelona before pulling out.